Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another episode of Coaster Spotlight. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at Ghost Mountain, created by Datboi. So stay tuned, and let's check it out. This was sent in by one of our Discord builders and golden patrons. Thank you so much for your support, Datboi. And here he says, welcome to Mount Willow, a mountain filled with mines, a goat, and a ghost. Can you beat the ghost that haunts this mountain, or will you fall like many others have tried? The only way to know is to try. Also, can you find the 3 skeletons around the boarding station? This blueprint is my building, but I do not use one of Paul font for the die sign. You think he's trying to say he's used Paul's sign. Okay, or font. Here's a link to the music. What does he say here? Sorry if the music isn't the best. It's my first time writing music. Let me copy the link and check it. Still don't trust it, guys. Die! Die! I give you guys a test there. A sample. Oh boy. It's I'm sorry for laughing. I give you the effort points. Not too bad. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm not trying to make fun. All right. That's pretty good. Die. Okay. I don't know if you wrote that yourself. It sounds like, I guess you did. But I already got things going. I don't want to restart the scene. We're going to go without the music here today, guys. Sorry. Let's jump into this. All right. Here's a look at everything. Now, Datboi is a patron, so we're going to try and give you as much feedback as we can today. You decided to go with a single rail coaster, which is one of the trickier coasters to do. I would say a very advanced coaster. So from the looks of things, you got it pretty smooth. I'm excited to see how smooth that is. We're going to ride it in track view just to have a real look at it. But looking at your rock work, it's pretty good for all red rocks. Pretty good indeed. I'm actually quite impressed. For a builder, this looks great. No repetitiveness in the rocks. I would have gone a little bit heavier with your shrubs and try to fill some of those cracks up with weeds and things like that. Just try to get in there in the nitty gritty. That's where the weeds are going to start poking out down below here. I just do a little bit more. Maybe have like a little bit of life on there, like maybe on the flat spot here or a flat spot. You got a little campfire. Somebody's crawled up there and, you know, left some junk. You have stairways, so where are they going to? Tell a little bit of story with your artistry. What else? I mean, the mine shaft's not too great. Bar. It definitely isn't a bar. It's a mine. It doesn't look like a bar. I don't think that fits there. So use the font from somebody. I think it looks good. Who made that font? You said Paul? All right. Very good job on that, Paul. A few custom supports in there. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, how I feel about those custom supports, I feel like if you're going to do that, you got to commit. You might have ran out of pieces. Let's find out. Nope, you had plenty. Yeah, I definitely think you should commit to it. And, you know, don't start what you're not going to finish. I would just get rid of those or continue with it. It looks really good, though. So I would continue with it. Yeah. Because there's not a lot of supports, if you look. Like a couple here, a couple there. That's about it. Really. I would commit to it, for sure. It's looking good. So, let's take a look at the nighttime lighting. Yeah, let's do. Alright, a little heavy on the red. You guys know I'm not a fan of the glowing rocks either. Why are they glowing? Makes no sense. Especially for Western. I like the lighting coming up here. It's subtle. While it's spotty, it's supposed to be because they're lanterns. Not a fan of the red at all. I would actually completely get rid of that or tone it to orange and make it really, really light or dim and inside the holes only. So it's like the lighting, the holes are lit for night, and I seen this on one episode. Where was it? Copper House Run. Go check that out on the channel by Dextro. He lit the caves, so it created this undertone. Looks really good. And then you have this kind of lit undertone with dark in the background and then dark out front, and it just accentuates those caves so much. That's the approach I would have gone. I would have tried to match your orange lighting here. A little bit softer though. I don't think the red is necessary. Then the green also throws me off. I get what you're trying to do with the Ghost Mountain, make it spooky. If you really want to go that route, I'd go with the spooky teal and make it ghostly, a ghostly teal. However, I like just the orange caves, so where I would accentuate the spookiness is the Q, a ghostly a ghostly teal barn. What do you want to call this? Mine shaft, and have this glowing blue, like just ghostly colors coming out, and you could even use those spotlights, so it almost actually looks like it's like the Ghostbusters beam, just pouring out of the windows and doors, making this place look super ghostly. And I would just let the nighttime lighting do the rest. We have beautiful moonlighting in this game, where you don't need a lot of lighting at all. So boom, there's my feedback for the artistry. A little bit too many colors going on there for me. Too bright. Looks great at daytime. Let's take a look at the coaster. And, oh, I do have one bit of feedback. Your setup colors are horrendous. Never do that again. It hurts the eyes. It's impossible to read. I didn't even want to look at it. So don't do that ever again. That bothered me for whatever reason. The white on cyan is literally the worst color choices for the eyes. Cyan is practically the same value as white, as pure white. So it creates discordance on the eyes, and discordance on the eyes hurts the eyes. Basically, the cones in your eyes see it as 1, the rods see it as 2. It creates a weird bugginess that goes on with your eyes, and it is impossible to look at. So just do something basic like black on white or black on red. I don't know. Something simple. All right, so we got the coaster here. We have the single rail basilisk as mentioned already. There's a look at the stats, everyone. A shorter ride, 1 minute and 10 seconds, with a max speed of 53 miles per hour and a biggest drop of 24. Okay, pretty average ratings. Let's see how it goes. Okay. I had a hard time paying attention to the coaster because I was distracted by the day-night sequencer. Now we're definitely gonna ride it again in track view so I can really feel that coaster. The day-night sequencer is tricky. I think you did it well at the end. That last transition, it really felt like it was naturally dark in the cave, and as I was coming out, I saw the light coming back in. You timed that last one really, really well. I loved it. All the other ones just kind of, I could tell the day-night sequencer was happening. The caves were too short for it to even matter. It's just the sun's just spinning around chaotically, and I'm not a big fan of it. So I think you have to use it in moderation and with precision. It's better used on an exploration park coaster. If the cave is 1 second, then the sun is just spinning around chaotically, and it doesn't work very well. I like the attempt. I like, I mean, it takes skill to do triggers and plan that stuff out, and it's showing that you're trying to advance yourself as a builder and do more complicated things. So I commend you for that. I just feel like if you're going to do it, you got to make sure you nail it. And for me, it didn't really quite feel proper. Yeah. So, but I do think you got it at the end there. It did feel good. Let's check it out one more time so I can really make sure that I feel good about that statement, if I'm right or wrong. We're going to do track view, and I'm going to try to pay attention to both the coaster and the lighting simultaneously. Let's give it a go. Okay, so with the lighting, I think what was also throwing me off is the red lights turning on. So it's going from day to dark to red to yellow, and it's just a lot going on. It's just a little bit chaotic, and I don't think it's chaotic in the spooky sense. And I also, I don't know what it is about the spiders. The spiders don't work for me here either. I think in the desert you would have tarantulas, not, what are these, black widows? I guess that's a technical. It's a minor gripe there. For me, it bugs me that it's not a hairy tarantula. Instead, it's a creepy crawly, which for me feels better suited in a haunted house dark ride in Planet Coaster. Didn't really fit here. So just try to point out some small things here and there. What did that say? Die. I didn't get to quite read that. So I still feel the same way about the lighting, and I think it's also throwing me off even further because you have like strobe lights going on while the lights are going to day and night. So maybe I'd feel differently about it if that wasn't also distracting me. Now, I did get a good look at the coaster track. I think you nailed it. I think you did a really good job of making it smooth. It's a little bit wobbly at some points, but this is one of the most difficult coasters to get just right. And for a builder, this is good. It's smooth all the way through. Transitions smoothly. A couple wobbly spots, like I mentioned, but really good. I think it's a solid effort here. Has lots of banking. I mean, you could just see it there. And from the track ride perspective, it was good. Very, very good job. So I normally when we see these single rail coasters done by builders, it's all sorts of wobbly. All sorts of wobbly. And to get those wobbles completely smoothed out, I saw a couple. That's really me trying to look for flaws. So if you got me really looking closely, then you did good. I think there's a few spots there. It could be just a little smoother, but pretty good. I'm impressed. Are we able to ride this thing at night with the sequencer doing that little dance? Let's find out. We're gonna do one more perspective here. Okay, so the reason that looked so rough on that last perspective is because this perspective I chose. I don't actually normally do intersect on that ride. So what's happening there is the camera's actually resting. The camera's actually resting here on the cart. And because the cart's turning, the camera's kind of like, the pivot point is so off that it was juddering around. So I know for next time to not do that perspective on the single rail. It would have been better to do a chase. It would have been a lot smoother on chase view. So not the coaster design's fault for the jitteriness, but rather the camera perspective I chose. So my apologies there. My last bit of feedback for you here, Datboi. I really want you to go back and look at the coaster I featured a while ago. You probably remember it. It was Ghost Train by Floss. What you guys are, you're trying to accomplish exactly what she set out to accomplish as well, but she's obviously a legend builder. So I think you can learn a lot from that one. Hers was called Ghost Train, yours is called Ghost Mountain, and they're both Western creations that are haunted. So she went with the really crazy teal lighting for the ghostly vibes, but then she flared it up with some bright lights for hot spots. And I think you can learn something from that, from the lighting. Now, while yours is a mountain, you can steal little elements of it for different parts of your coaster. Because right now, the theming of Ghost Mountain, I'm feeling more like Horror Show Mountain. It's more, I don't know how to put my finger on it. Like, we have the skull out front, we have the bloody sign, we have this thing that says die. I feel like more like I'm like a Jason, or someone's gonna like butcher me going through this. And then we have this random spiders scattered about, the red lighting. I don't really feel as if it's a ghost that's haunting this place rather than an axe murderer. So for the theming, it's not quite there for me. And I would definitely try to step in the direction of the ghost. And in order to do that, you really got to focus on your ghostly lighting and your spooky elements. Rather than spiders, you can use ghost animatronics, curtains waving in the wind, just to give you like a feel that there's a poltergeist about here. You know, different things like that, lights flickering, and you know, those sorts of things. So I think it's a pretty strong attempt. And again, your rock works great. Your scenery works great. The coaster was smooth. I would like to see a little bit more done with the coaster layout. It was a little short, but I think it's solid. I give it a good rating. And your last creation was the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot was really interesting. And I do remember enjoying that coaster, but I do remember there was a lack in the artistry, and I think since then you've stepped it up. However, I would push those things further. Like I said, commit to the supports and really commit to your boarding station. The boarding station is feeling a little bit bland. This font doesn't work for me, and it just feels tacked on there. It doesn't fit at all. I think it's better to not have it than to have it. Get some trim work going in there and improve that lighting, because I think your artistry has stepped it up. The next level to improve your artistry would be to approach that lighting and that theming. So think about your lighting and your theming. But man, I think it's leaps and bounds. You're growing as a builder from your last creation, and your coaster's smooth. So thumbs up. I really like it. So keep up the good work, Datboi. And also thank you again so much for your support. So there you guys go. Let me know what you guys think. Am I completely wrong? Do you agree? What do you agree with? What would you change? Leave your comments and thoughts down below, and I'll be sure to read them. And I'm sure Datboi will too. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Coaster Spotlight. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily Planet Coaster videos. And if you enjoy the show, please do consider becoming a patron. Links are down in the description below. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.